Hey, what's up, y'all? Sorry about yesterday. I didn't get to my video. Time just keeps on. It keeps on going into the future, and I've had to pick up some extra duties the past couple of weeks at work. Um, so I have a lot of extra responsibility in my classroom and dealing with some other stuff. So it's kind of put me behind on a lot of things. And anyway. So that's what my whole video is about. So when I started back to work and they told me which classroom I was going to be in, I was really unhappy about it because I really wanted to be back in the autism room and be with my one-on-one I had before I came home to stay with Nova because we didn't want to put her in daycare for at least the first year or so of her life. And so God's really been working on me in my quiet time, not necessarily in my reading time, but just with me and my attitude towards being in this classroom that I'm in. And like these kids, like it's hard to have. You can't even have a conversation. You could talk to them, but they don't talk back. We got one with a feeding tube, so I've got to get trained in feeding him. I'm still waiting on the person to come train me whenever they get to me. And they told me a week ago they'd be here. But that's life. That's life in the school system. It's busy all the time. Changing diapers constantly. It's like taking care of an adult infant in some instance, because we gotta break up the kids' food. We gotta feed the kids. We're potty training kids. One kid who's my one-on-one, and the Joker's big. He's tall, a little taller than me, but the boy's probably at least 280. I mean, he's a big boy, and he ain't nothing but a big toddler. So I'm just saying all this to say that I've had to change. God's had to work on my heart because I was really, really not feeling being in this classroom, and it was really affecting my attitude coming to work and my attitude towards my teacher. And this is her first year as a SPED teacher because she's been a para before, but this is her first year, so she's overwhelmed with excessive amount of paperwork and trying to work out, what are the goals for these kids. And I think some of these goals are unrealistic only because the parents most likely are not trying to work towards these things at home. So a lot of parents in the SPED program use it as like a babysitting tool. So these kids have, we can't deny them to come to school, and so they have to come to school. And of course, it's public, so they don't have to pay out of pocket other than if they have lunch. But if they qualify for a free lunch, they don't have to pay for that either. But my attitude has just sucked. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was not happy about being in this class, and God's just like, you're better than that. And those kids deserve better than that. And it's not the kids' fault that I'm in here. And yeah, I'm a social butterfly, and I feel like, and the restaurant, one reason why I didn't want to be in here, because, I've been home, even though I've gotten to go to the gym and got to go to the store, but when we were on lockdown, and I couldn't go anywhere, it kind of sucked. So I feel like I went from being stuck in one place to being stuck in another place, but I had to change my perspective. Pastor Justin was talking last week that crisis is a lesson. So, and I've already know what God has promised to me, and I may not have the degrees that people have that are in the positions that's been promised to me, but I'm in the classrooms, and I think I'm in some of the most critical, been in the most critical classrooms, because some of these kids, it's like they get just, y'all do what y'all do, take care of them, and that's it. Not saying that everybody don't love these kids and care about these kids, but they don't get the same attention overall. as the regular education kids. And they do have like a program at the school called the Partners Program, where some of the kids get involved, and they interact with the SPED kids, even our SPED kids, push them in their wheelchairs at PE and stuff like that. But it's so mentally and emotionally taxing. And sometimes I just want to come home and just lay down and sleep, because I'm so exhausted. Just mentally exhausted, because you're trying to teach somebody who you don't know what they're thinking, that they can't tell you what they're doing. They make noises, and sometimes their noises are trying to tell you something, and the parents haven't told you what this means or what that means, so we're trying to learn, and it's extremely taxing. But I know I haven't been giving these kids my best. And that's not living according to Colossians 3:23. So I've had to change my perspective. Anyway, I gotta go. I love you guys. Remember to just always, even when you're frustrated, there's always a reason you're in the position that you're in. You don't have to like it. God never said we had to like where we were going to be. Because I'm pretty sure Paul didn't like being in prison, but he made the best of it. He learned to abase and to abound in all situations. So I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to take these lessons that I'm learning and apply it. Anyway, love you guys. Gotta go.